I've noticed that when I start releasing young leaders, something shifted in my soul. And the excitement now comes from watching them succeed beyond me. And again, like last year, those young leaders literally they won to faith over 300 people. Like three last year we had 300 confessions of faith. Here we are. I don't know when people will listen to this podcast, but right now we're end of May, and already those young leaders have led close to 100 people to Christ this year alone. This Easter, I had one of my 23-year-old leaders who I knew I saw something of God on. And I was like, man, there's something of a Lord on him. And I think he can preach and share the word of God. He's a teacher, very foundational, and he can do it really well in a way that people can understand it. He had this ability to expound the word of God in such a way that people could just apply it to their life right away. And so on a Sunday morning before we come up to Easter, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even tell him what I had told the leaders. But I announced to the church while he's sitting in the congregation, I said, hey, this young man is going to be preaching our sunrise service. He had no idea. But right after the church just clapped and celebrated, and he sat there shocked, but he knew it was coming, you know.
Mm.
And after the service, he came up to me. He said, I knew you were going to do that. And I said, okay, now you got to be in my office this week, and we're going to work on some things. And for 4 weeks working up to that, listen, gentlemen, he knocked it out of the at our sunrise service. This is a 6 a.m. service on Easter
Yeah.
Sunday morning. There's 500 people in the building, and he shared an encounter so powerful. I mean, people ran to the altar. It's it was at the end of that service, 7 a.m. It was just a 1 hour service. People were giving their heart and life to the Lord. And I just stood there and wept, not out of jealousy, but out of joy until we all reach the unity of faith and the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature. Here is a young man who is maturing in his faith and growing in his gift. And my excitement used to be about my own maturity, but now it's about our maturity as a church, as a local body, and the maturity of the young leaders.